take the time out to say a special good morning to those of you listening to Classic Radio, those of you viewing GBN TV. Good morning. It's Tuesday, the 29th day of July, 2025. How's everyone doing this morning? Hope you're doing good. You're feeling A-OK and you're ready for whatever challenges comes your way during the course of the day today. And certainly hope that you will get through it all at your plans that you have for today. Of course, with all the goodness that will also follow it. Welcome to The Point this morning. I'm your host, GT, on today's program, folks. And we will have an open line edition of To The Point for today, Tuesday, the 29th. Usually it's Opposition Tuesday. We have no one representing the opposition on the program for today, so which leads us to have an open line, giving you, the listeners and viewers, the opportunity to call in, share your views, share your concerns as relations to issues that you may like to speak about, concerns that you may have in relation to various what is happening around your community nationwide. You have the opportunity to speak about that. Of course, I beg of you to be brief in terms of your contribution this morning. You know that the rule. You're calling, make sure that your devices are totally turned off, whether it's the radio or the television. Have it totally turned off when you're calling in. You certainly will hear me clearly via the telephone. When you're through, you have the option of turning it back up so that you can listen to other callers who may be making their contribution. Once again, the telephone number that you can call in to make a contribution, both the WhatsApp and the direct phone line, 435-2041, 435-2041. That's the number. Open line edition of To The Point for today. Let's go to the phone line. We have our first caller. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Doing good. How are you this morning?
I'm pretty okay.
All right.
Now, I'm calling on the health department. There's a mosquito break out will take place in Grenada today or tomorrow. I know how long it will take place, but up in Perseverance, as some tires, we dump in for the longest while, but the dump it in the open. Mm-hmm. And there's water settling in the tap for years, for a long period of time. So mosquito will not leave that thing for a good while and it goes spread to Grenada. And you go terrorize this nation. Asking if they could go and do something with that tire. I had to put it away better than what they have in there. They had to change that system, but they only dumping tire.
So have you? I guess you have gone through the area and witnessed that yourself?
No, I watched it open. Open it is to spread all over the ground.
So no, that's what I'm asking you, sir. If you have been to the area and you see what is taking place, that has drawn your concern.
That's what I'm talking about it.
Okay.
Can no passes with them, that's what it is. There's a dumping tires and going there in a certain area, and you expose in the open. So long rain falling, expecting water will settle on it.
Okay.
If you a big cover and go and the upside up water settling and make a massive.
So true, you're correct about that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you have a pattern on the road in Parak right now. You do some work for the past time. The company work is true. And they dump some fine stone top, some fine stone. But I told the gentleman who do the work, I said, boss, this thing needs a covering with a steel. If you don't cover it up still, all the stuff water and go in the road to them, you have a hole again to tomorrow. And you already have a hole already, and you go continue for even people with tar by now and weekend, you have about 3-4 holes inside, all the smoke come out.
All right.
I don't know about the feel. I mean, in a sense, I don't know that would probably was to liquor and estimate, you know. Right. But to them from the beginning, I don't call them and talk about it in any case.
All right, man. All right. But I certainly hope of course, the authorities are hearing your concerns and something will be done about it.
I talked to the radio pastor about that, and then but they'll call back again to remind them. They had to cover that thing with a steel. So it's totally fine. So remember, long people passing on the whole on the spot. You go have a dig up. It's totally go all move on thing till all come out.
All right, man. All right. Thank you. Have a good morning. I certainly hope you will get your concerns taken care of. 435-2041. 435. We have an open line this morning. We go back to the telephone line. We do have another caller. I guess we missed that caller. 435-2041. Once again, the option is yours. You listeners and viewers are there. If you want to contribute towards today's program, you have a concern that you would like to speak about, there's an issue you want to bring to the fore, feel free to do today on today's program. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you are live. Good morning, welcome. Caller, good morning, welcome. Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, GT. How are you doing?
Doing great. How are you this morning?
I'm fine, man. I'm fine. I just want to be brief. I listened to something in the last parliament. And I was very, very pleased, not me alone, a lot of children that go to school, especially GBSS, PBC, all them secondary school in Grenada, who are now getting a kind of a sense about what's going on about this colonial kind of a behavior. Mm-hmm. And you know one thing I want to talk about? I I am saying that Keith Mitchell is one of the smartest politicians not in Grenada, in the Caribbean. You know what I tell you that? When you had him last week, not beyond the headline, was NNP Tuesday last week.
It was on this particular program, to the point.
To the point.
Yes.
You know what he said? He's not supporting. He prefer to support a referendum. You know what he say in cabinet? That won't make when they had parliament, it won't make me know that he's smart. He said when everybody was making a noise, he said, I am not going to make no big noise. Who outside here and waiting to hear what I will say? Because them want to hear that. Well, they have a long wait. When I used to be swearing in to this queen as she was died, my mother, you say all his jaw used to hurt him. I'm just saying that to say we have people that changing the mind. You understand? And saying no, they're supporting the British and them for what they do here. The Queen legacy must remain here in Grenada. They're not saying that direct, but they're saying it indirect because they want to go to referendum. So them know to get 75% or whatsoever, it will never happen because what about the people who aren't voting? It just showed me how wicked some of these guys is. And the campaigning on every radio. Like if the song ain't good. This guy has to know that every time he on a radio, 85% of the people just cut off the radio. Nobody want to hear you. And I thank GBN and I thank Mr. Ruggles Ferguson and Mr. Francis Alexis for educating people like me and the rest of people what is right and what is wrong. GT,
have a good morning.
I always say in your program and with Mr. Your co-host, Mr. Silva McIntyre, and Mr. Godfrey, is the best two programs he have in Grenada, Terrico, and City Matthews in terms of this kind of a program because I give you all very good ratings. You understand? And the kind of people that just want to tune in and disrespect Alexis, disrespect everybody, and call people all kind of nasty names. Time for the stop of it. Thank you, GT.
You too, boss. Have a great morning. 435-2041. We're moving down to 11 minutes after the 9 o'clock hour this morning. 435-2041. 435-2041. It's a number if you want to get in on today's program. Make a contribution. Folks, we have an open line this morning. Let's hear from you in terms of what you would like to contribute this morning, what you would like to bring to the fore. Please free to do so. We do have another caller. Caller,
good morning,
welcome.
Mr. Telesford.
Good morning, sir.
Mr. Telesford, you know why you're laughing? You know
sure.
the term throwing word in Grenada when you're throwing word? But this crazy blind jackass will never get down to this personal. According to the Constitution of this here country, Section 10 gives me the right, Mr. Telesford, to create my ideas and disseminate them as I so care. Who like it, as Hudson Scipio said in the 1972 election, and who ain't like it, what they like about it. You with me, Mr. Telesford? So let's go to the meat of the matter. I would like to make a very powerful contribution here this morning, sir. But before I do, I want a couple of things here. I hear things on the radio sometimes I have to query. I want to draw reference to a news item came through recently relative to a hatchery that will be built in Grenada soon. And the announce identified highlighting, of course, will be the first hatchery to be built in Grenada. I'm missing a word, the adverb ever. Nothing further from the truth. One of the first jobs I worked in was the construction of a hatchery, which I learned today is the exact spot where the Catholic Church is in Montparnasse. 1971. Don Lumar was the company, including Donald and son, and I helped install the equipment inside. I just left school. I left the treasury back then. So to say the first ever is false, Grenada. There was a hatchery in Grenada producing thousands of chicks in the 1970s in Grenada. For whatever reason, the company fell apart and so on. That's the first thing I want to say. I heard this Prime Minister recently talking about the matter up in, what you call up there, Mr. Clogier. And what he said was so confusing to me. I wonder if other people understood. He said, well, the water from the broken mains would have infiltrated on the undergrowth and whatnot, and the embankment and so on would have moved and the road would have shifted. What do you understand from that, Mr. Telesford? Why doesn't some teacher in this year, because I'm not, tell this gentleman once and for all, or give him a lesson on the proper use of would have plus the past participle? It doesn't tell you what happened. The present perfect and the simple past and the past perfect are the verbs that tell you what happened in the past. Would have plus the past participle doesn't. But of course, I tried to tell him, and to hell with me. Who, me, you know? So there we go. We lead that one day. Because he sounds so ridiculous as the leader of the country, and he doesn't understand that. Because he's so pompous. But let's go to the meat of the matter. Mr. Telesford, sir, as I end up here. Our country is being bluffed by certain people who have, without a doubt, I'm not challenging the qualification, Mr. Telesford. I'm meticulously careful about that. I never went, I think I entered once or twice the property of a university, but as relates to academia and otherwise, leave me out of that. I'm a mechanic stroke, welder stroke, fabricator stroke, fitter. That's where I was trained, and that's what I used to do well. Today I can't because I lost my sight. But Mr. Telesford, I believe because there were kings, one-eye-man king in blind man country over the years, and no one has ever challenged them on the utterances and the pranks that they play on the people of this country. They can continue. I want Grenadians to understand it. Understand it by reading it. Our country in recent times have undergone something unseen before. The Constitution provision, article or section number 111 has been violated. It demands, according to what is written in the Constitution there, to be read and understood by anybody who learned the English language, that it is deeply entrenched. The smart CC birds of the CCR have decided to pull out what is known as Schedule 3, conveniently to them and the machinations, separated it from the main section and worked on it, re-engineered it, and used other roads to devise a plan to modify Section 111. But the fact is, Schedule 3 belongs to 111. And as long as you interfere with it, you affect alterations to 111, which is deeply entrenched. I urge the Grenadian schoolboys and girls, Form 3, Form 4, Form 5, to discuss it. Look at the document, read it, understand. You do not have to be an interpreter of Constitution. Our Constitution is written in the English language, brothers and sisters. It is not anything special. Look at it that you will see the prank that was played on the country. As a matter of fact, it's a coup d'etat. And because they refuse to go into debate about it, everybody feel that it's because they say they know it. No, they don't know it all. Even the jackasses of this here country know that they don't know it all. So I urge Grenadian people to prepare for the counter coup. This action taken demands a referendum. It demands a referendum. So when they come with the quote-unquote consultations, which is the most ridiculous thing today, to committing the act, and then when you don't come to consult, what an abuse, what an insult to the intelligence of our people. You cannot consult now. You had to consult before. So the referendum to come shall be one of abrogation. That is to kill that nasty law that they just approved. And I would end by, or should I say by ratification, to say whether you want it or not. Prepare for it. There has to be obligatorily a referendum. And I want to say to the so-called Governor General, don't you dare sign that bill, because if you do, you'll be condemning yourself worse than nature has it as today. That bill has to be accompanied by a certification of a referendum. If you do, then woe beyond your position. A word to the wise is sufficient. Thank you very much, Mr. Telesford.
Thank you also, sir. Have a great morning. Thank you for your contribution this morning. Folks, we're due for a break. We're going to take that break. When we come back, we certainly will have more of your calls coming in. Stay with us. To the Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. We will be right back after the break.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. First, make a family disaster plan and ensure that everyone in your household is familiar and comfortable with it. Remember to add batteries and flashlights to your emergency kit. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
Remembering our past, reclaiming our roots, empowering our future. On August 1st, Grenada will rally with the global African diaspora to celebrate Emancipation Day.
Bring down the power of love, I say. Bring down the power.
Let us bring down the power of freedom as Grenville comes alive with exciting cultural performances, exhibitions, food, fashion, and great speeches on August 1st. The day celebrations commence at 6 a.m. with an emancipation breakfast at the Grenville car park. At 4:30 p.m., the traditional mass bands will assemble at Dunfermline and head for Grenville, while the school marching bands will leave Progress Park at 5:30 p.m. and parade down to Soubise for the spectacular Flambeau March into Grenville at 6:30 p.m. At precisely the stroke of 8, the spotlight shifts to the Grenville bus terminal with an action-packed program of cultural presentations from the National Performing Company, Spiceland dancers, cultural train, Lion Pride, Tivoli drummers, spoken word poets, and top local calypsonians. There will also be a special reenactment of the Emancipation Proclamation. So put on your African wear and come to Grenville in your numbers on August 1st and bring down the power of love and freedom as we celebrate our emancipation. Buses available nationwide. Contact your parliamentary offices.
Bring down the power of love, I say.
Welcome back to our listeners. Welcome back, viewers. It's To the Point here, Classic Radio GBN TV. It's Tuesday, the 29th day of July. It's usually Opposition Wednesday. Tuesday, my apology, on the program for Tuesdays. We don't have anyone representing the opposition today, so of course, which led us to have an open line edition this morning. Feel free to give me that call, 435-2041. You have double options of calling in via the WhatsApp and also the direct line, 435-2041. We do have another caller. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
I want to wish you a very productive day today.
Same goes out to you.
I am calling about the debushing program. I live behind Central Secondary School coming up the hill, and our road has not been walked since before Christmas last year. Christmas, that last set of debushing they had that time, that's when that road was walked. And they don't seem to be coming to clean up by us at all. The bush is so tall. We have trees on the side of the road now. Not bush, trees. Anybody could come and see what is happening there. I don't know why they're not coming up here. My neighbor went to them and they said they were going to come from the office down there About
But
2 weeks.
were there any gangs in your particular area at all? Whether it's
no
lower
gangs.
or
I tell you,
upper
the
part
last
of your area?
place that road was cleaned was before Christmas last year.
Okay.
And I saw the man, there was a blue tree in the line, and I saw the Glen man by the Anglican Church since in May, and I told him about it. He said they're going to send, they will come, and up to now that is still there. Anybody could you could leave town and see what is happening up here. The other side of the road, when my neighbor has the workman walking, he usually cut that side. Otherwise, we were in a total jungle up here.
Okay.
They're not coming to clean that road.
All right.
Since in before December, that was the last bushing they get.
All right. Well, I certainly hope someone will, of course, and authorities listening, and they will remedy that situation there for you. We do have another caller via WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, welcome. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
It's a little time I didn't call. I want to make 2 little comments. Short.
Go right ahead.
I want to make them long. Now, we have a war in Ukraine. And you have countries like Iran, Russia, Ukraine, North Korea, Turkey, inventing, who trying to make more superior drones to fight war. We as a colonized people still wasting our time talking about proper English. Russians don't speak proper English. They're good at technology. Chinese don't speak proper English. They're good at technology.
But then it's not their official language, caller. You know that, right?
What I'm saying, we in Grenada, in all Caribbean island, why we always stuck on English? I move with all Caribbean people. And why is only in Grenada we stuck on this, who's speaking good English? I don't understand that. I think we're wasting our time on that. We are Caribbean people. You have Caribbean literature, Caribbean scholars, and we have our own culture from slavery to now. So this thing about English, I living in Canada, I hearing a different kind of English. If I go to England, I go and hear next kind of English. I live in Detroit, it's a different English. People know we don't waste our time on that. We should look forward to develop ourselves in technology, have a better democracy, try to talk about the Constitution and how we go change it in English. And we still say we want to get rid of King Charles when England have all kind of English. I don't know. I'm tired with it.
All right.
Anyway, that's my point.
Thank you a whole lot. Blessings, man. We do have another caller. Caller, your life. Good morning. Welcome.
Hey, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, to the point, the government had a pilot program with the tablets. I'd like them to extend that, bring it back into existence, and this technology with the old books that's eaten by termites, people pay all that money to parents, and children don't get to use all these books. They need to digitize these books and put it in the tablet and block all this third world stuff that they come to the children that they shouldn't really be watching on the tablet. But the tablet program the pilot program need to be extended and forget about these books that have been eaten by bugs. Another thing, the Africans are being tricked to go work in Asia there, and the program they have to work on computers, and when they get there, they're being abused and then being fed to lions. Tigers. Have a good day.
Thank you. I'm not sure how factual that is. 435-2041, 435-2041. We do have another caller before I bring the caller on air. Someone is saying, good morning, GT. Due respect to the haters of Maurice Bishop. He was one of the best leaders in the world. In Grenada, Gary tried. Bishop was about the people, not putting money in his pocket. Education and health was foremost. We do have another caller. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Well, I tell you, you had to respect other people. Maurice Bishop, that man was the most violent person that ever passed in this country. My goodness me, that committing most atrocities against the people of Grenada. People couldn't even talk. This thing that happened on the 4th was a disgrace. They couldn't even solve the problem. That they had to resort to violence. Everything is violent. That's what Morris used to solve problems. Only violence. But he was violent and the worst leader, and nobody hate him. It's just that these things. In fact, he didn't himself come in democratically. Take a gun and shoot down people. Is that a way that you come in office? You people must condemn that. You can't uphold this thing. Everything about Morris was violent. Come on, man. Anyway, what I want to say, we don't have no time now for a referendum. Referendum will cost millions, and Deacon and them just get in. So take the money. The priority should be to build back Grenada, to Carriacou and Petit Martinique, because we just had a hurricane, and Sautiers and St. Mark's. So nobody don't want no referendum now, because we can't afford that is reckless, that is stupid spending. Channel the money, check your priorities, and channel the money elsewhere. Also, what I want to tell people, now on Thursday, the 31st of this month, that is this Thursday, there will be a praise and worship service at the Gateway Assembly Church in how you call the place, in Point Saline, right? That is a collaborative effort between Honorable Andy Williams and the Gateway Assembly churches, and they're so inviting everybody down to that service. It starts at 7:00, and they also want people who want to sing. They're allowing 3 songs, so you have to call the constituency office at 440-1010 or 457-5569, because all are welcome, right? Like I say, it's a collaborative effort between the parliamentary representative and the church. So I'm just putting it out on behalf of Honorable Andy, right? Also, the water expansion project for South St. George. People, again, go to that same number. There are jobs available for experienced people, men and women, and unskilled and unskilled laborers. And I understand that it's only women alone that are applying for these work. Where are these young men gone? I think I must be talking about it on the station already. Come on, man. If you look at all the jobs in the world today, all this sort of thing, women are really taking control. Look at the law profession. Everything is mainly women. Managers too, women. I think men need to step up to the plate.
So do you think there's probably more unemployed women in Grenada than men, more or less?
No, it's just that men not stepping up to the plate. Because there are jobs, for instance, look, in the South down there are jobs for that I have been advertising for Honorable Andy, right? Recently, you have a set of shootings in the area down there. I think 5 or 6 people. I don't know. I don't want to comment too much. The numbers. Half of these people, instead of taking up a gun, why they don't go and apply for a job, whether it's skilled or unskilled? That's what I'm saying, is that the jobs are available, right? Take it up. And everything is a knife and a cutlass. Take the same cutlass and go and chop up the land, cut down the trees and plant food. But you have the involvement in all these kind of acts. So let me just wind up again by saying, referendum, this is not a time for that. This bill and all this kind of thing is not a priority. You have people who live under conditions in Carriacou and Petit Martinique that I understand, living on a tarpaulin and all these things, and we know what happened. Hurricane Beryl destroyed Grenada, destroyed Carriacou, Petit Martinique, and we know about St. Mark's and Sautiers. Right. So take those money and prioritize and give the people. Forget about this referendum.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Appreciate your call. 435-2041, 435-2041. Open line edition of To The Point. We go back to the phone line. We should have a caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, GT, and how are you today?
Doing good, sir. What about you, man?
I'm okay for now.
All right,
but,
all right.
My observation, I think we're going backward.
Yeah?
Yeah, because they're targeting slavery and all this thing about the British. But we got independence so long. We bring in, look, I born and grew in Monrouge. I will tell you some simple thing. They're up to the St. Point Saline, USSU camp in Point Selling. SSU camp not in Point Selling. That is Monroe South. That whole place is Monroe South. I born and go here. I know that they know the different boundary. You have Monroe Estate. You have Granance Estate, you have Point Selling, I know all the boundaries. That is Monroe South, all the way gateways, that is Monroe South. The airport, Point Selling airport sign is on Monroe South. They're changing everything, really, they're calling it Saigon, they're doing
officially where does Point Selling start, if you could say?
Point Selling?
Yeah, where does it actually start?
That boundary is within where they when you to go into the old school club.
Yes,
that is where you're going. That is where the boundary is. I don't know if you know there's an old well there.
No, not too.
There's a well there, and there's a gentleman that had been in Point Selling before Mr. Julian, Mr. Pantin. He donated that well for Callis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look up that big rubber tree up on Callis Hill. Where that you know that I don't know if you know that hill, and you're going into Coffee Street.
Not 100% familiar.
Right. Well, where that big rubber tree is Gary that planted that tree. Right there, that is the boundary of Monroe, from Monroe to True Blue Estate, True Blue.
All right.
The people are, look, we going backward. Look, from since in the 70s. We must expect in Grenada that women are dominating. Since in the 70s, when they matched the ratio of men to women in Grenada, and it was 9 women to 1 man, and up to now they cannot give me the ratio. If the population is growing, you have 9 women to 1 man. What you expect? Women will be more in front. We going back. Look, the bus situation. They say they're bringing bus and they are doing bus. You know the small Toyota, right?
Yeah.
We have the bigger one, the Coaster. You know how much passenger that is holding? The bigger one holding 29 passengers. The small one holding 15. So the one with the 15 had to run up and down to make two trips from Granada to town, and that taking about an hour. If you take your time with one coaster, let it full and bring. You don't have to make this small boat making 2 trips. You make 1 trip and you make your same money. Yeah, a lot of things that they change. We are more colonized and going backward in certain things. We just new vehicle, new house, new thing, and a lot of things. There's a lot of things that we're not looking after in Grenada.
Thank you, Kola. Thank you so much for your contribution, man. I appreciate it a whole lot, and thanks for that little bit of history there. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, blessings, man. Hey, folks, we do for a break. Let's take it. We're coming right back with much more for you. We're inside the second half an hour of the program, so we'll be right back after the break. Stay with us. Don't touch it out.
Served Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
I'm ready to defend my crown. Iguana will be performing live, defending Caranage Soca Monarch. All they think a little curry meet me on the stage. July 25th, 31st, and August 8th. Meet me on the stage.
We wild, we in style. When you see me chilling on a branch by myself, no company, no friends. Oh my gosh, I stumble when I meet till I tumble. Woman come in a bungle, wanna come from me jungle. Oh my gosh, I stumble when I meet till I tumble. Woman come in a bungle, wanna come from me jungle.
past, reclaiming our roots, empowering our future. On August 1st, Grenada will rally with the global African diaspora to celebrate Emancipation Day.
Bring down the power of love, I say. Bring down the power.
Let us bring down the power of freedom as Grenville comes alive with exciting cultural performances, exhibitions, food, fashion, and great speeches on August 1st. The day celebrations commence at 6 a.m. with an emancipation breakfast at the Grenville car park. At 4:30 p.m., the traditional mass bands will assemble at Dunfermline and head for Grenville, while the school marching bands will leave Progress Park at 5:30 p.m. and parade down to Soubise for the spectacular Flambeau March into Grenville at 6:30 p.m. At precisely the stroke of 8, the spotlight shifts to the Grenville bus terminal with an action-packed program of cultural presentations from the National Performing Company, Spiceland dancers, cultural train, Lion Pride, Tivoli drummers, spoken word poets, and top local calypsonians. There will also be a special reenactment of the Emancipation Proclamation. So put on your African wear and come to Grenville in your numbers on August 1st and bring down the power of love and freedom as we celebrate our emancipation. Buses available nationwide. Contact your parliamentary offices.
Bring down the power of love, I say.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, once again. The clock on the wall says 25 minutes. Moving up before the 10 o'clock hour this morning is to the point. Our open line edition for today, Tuesday, the 29th day of July, 2025. We do have a caller. Let's go over to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Hey, good morning, Gigi. How are you doing today, man?
Doing great. Doing great. How are you this morning?
Your song, I love your conversation this morning. Your song, and I love to hear your song this morning. I'll tell you what. It's always good to have the opposition with the checks and the balances, right? But and today normally a day for the opposition.
Yes.
Right? And I'm feeling kind of unhappy that we are not hearing from the opposition because, as we all know, that checks and balances are indeed important for balance in a country in terms of the development. They are the ones to see and spot out where the government will go in and their perspective. Now, it clearly shows again how weak the opposition are because for all the years, they've been in power for all those years. These are the folks that claim that they have all the plans for Grenada. These were the same folks who stated that this government, those guys who were running for election, they were rogue, that they had no idea, they had no vision for Grenada. But you're not hearing about that recent project in Calivini, where you had some big signings now and people agree to come on board in terms of the new hospital. And all the ideas and all the innovation that this government doing under the leadership of Deacon Mitchell. And I think the opposition, with all that years of experience, and being in government and boasting and stating so much of thing and critiquing, then they should be on board today. They should be embarrassed because we want to hear them point out things so even we as Grenadians can be better and we can be well informed. But seeing as they're absent, it's sure that they're incompetent. It's sure that they themselves don't even know what they're doing and what they're about. So it shows that only when they're in government, they have a voice. And it shows really and truly that they have no idea as to where they're going from now. So have a good day, GT. And next time around, for the paint that good picture for the so-called opposition, come on board. Come on the air when you are invited to, and let the people hear what you have to say, and plead your cause and bring your points as to how they think the country should go, or the ideas they have. But right now, nil.
Thank you, sir.
And they're showing the incompetence. Have a good day.
You too. Have a good one. 435-2041, 435-2041. Looking at a comment from someone on the WhatsApp, they're saying, I want to know what could be done about the quarry road. The holes are so big when it rains, the rain comes, and it looks like a little river. The road is destroying our vehicles. We have no alternative road in our homes. The quarry, government need to step up and do something about that road. That's a contribution there from someone via the WhatsApp. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Morning.
Good morning to you. Caller, your life. Go right ahead, please.
I sort of see the reason why the opposition would not want to be on the air. After all these years in power, the opposition actually did nothing for the Grenadian people. All they did was thief Grenadian money. It's that simple. So why would they want to come on the radio and on the television and talk about thieving Grenadians' money? In 3 years, look at what this NDC has accomplished. Compare it. This NNP is nothing but a cult, and Grenadians should reject them in every way possible. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you also. And maybe I should come to the defense of for the opposition on today's program. I would not agree that they don't come on the program. Mostly every Tuesday someone is representing on the program, except for some reason we have an alternative program that we may have to present, maybe Parliament and so forth. They may not come, but I would say that every Tuesday there's someone wants the opportunity, just that for some reason today there's no one representing. So I may not want to say that no one comes to represent on the program. All right, just today, no one is here today, and it happens from time to time with other guests. We may have someone may just not be able to make it for whatever reason or reasons. All right, we do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, sir.
It hurts me to know that I'm not trying to say that I'm always explaining to us or the people who seem to have understanding, talking about English. We have standard English, IAE, internationally accepted English. We have another English we call colloquial English. That means how you speak, as they say, broken English. If you are talking to a particular set of people, maybe an educated set of people, you are likely to talk standard English. That is the best. And when they say standard is accepted all over, where English, IA English is accepted. So you call that standard. Now we are saying outside of our own stupidness. And in fact, I could give you an example. The word interpretation means to put to your own fancies. In other words, and your interpretation would depend on your experience. When I say experience, if you are a boxer, you either have plenty of experience and you know how to defend yourself. If you are, as they say, a standard Englishman, and you hear somebody say something, you could know how to defend yourself. If you are a good builder, and they're criticizing you, you could tell them the rules. So when people talking, they first have to know what they are talking about. They have to understand, not interpret. Because sometimes people talk and they blame, they even criticize me. I'm not saying I'm not due for criticism when it's necessary, you know. But it hurts me to everybody want to talk about the English language. And they're not talking about IA English. No, it depends on the type of people you meet. You have to know when not to use standard English because they laugh at you. So you have to talk to them, Adi, go down the road. Not I went. And this is the problem with us. All of us miss Noel and Miss Noel. But when for we to defend ourselves, we can't defend it. That's all I have to say for this morning. It's time.
Thank you, sir. Have a good morning. I appreciate your contribution. 435-2041, 435-2041. The lines are open once again for us, folks. Let's hear your contribution this morning. There's probably something you want to, of course, bring to the fore this morning. Feel free to do it on today's edition of To The Point. We have 13 minutes left before we take a wrap for today's edition. And those of you who are, of course, on the or day in the diaspora, you have the option of calling via the WhatsApp 435-2041, or you can call the direct line if you want to 435-2041. Open line edition offered To The Point for today, folks. Let's go back to the phone line and see what this caller has to offer. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning to you, GT.
Good morning to you.
I just thought I would toss in. You know, when the British won Grenada, we were not speaking English. You're aware of that?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
We were speaking French.
Yes.
And they forced us to speak English.
That's where the little patois and stuff comes in there, right?
A lot of corruption took place in the language, because they were really punishing the people, killing them and all that, because they banned all things French. That's why a lot of them run away to Trinidad and so on. Well, when they realized in truth that we were battling with learning what they brought, the English they brought, the standard English, they put it on the curriculum in schools. GT, how would you explain we're in 2025 and children are still failing standard English in exam? I will leave that there. Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Blessings as always. And I appreciate your contribution. Always fruitful. 435-2041. 435-2041. That's the number if you want to, of course, make a contribution towards today's program. And let's see what else do I have to throw. There's a comment from someone via the WhatsApp. Let's entertain a call let me brief it before I throw it out. Call it live. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, GT.
Good morning to you. How are you this morning?
All right. GT, I just want to find the money, the banks, the credit unions in our country. I find it too hard on people over 60. Somebody over 60, they can go to the bank. You mightn't have this big cash, but you may have what you may have, your house, you may have your land, but they always find out your age to give you a little $20,000 or $30,000 in the bank. It is to hire a 60-year-old man or woman today in this country and they have to reach to work for 8 o'clock. Book your flight. These age people will reach to work on time. But the young people, some of them, when 7 o'clock, they get up in the bed and they just rush. You always have problem with some of them with your time. And I find it's so unfair. Every time I over 60 plus come to you to do a little transaction, you always point out the age. Sometimes these 60 plus more strong mentally, they might not have cash, but they're willing to work and pay you back. But I find they must consider it and watch how the 60
But sometimes you have to understand the rules of the organizations. You understand?
Well, yes, the organization are pointing out too.
In these days and times, sometimes they may have the opinion that most 60-year-olds may not be able to, if they give you a 20-year or so for repayment, it may not be possible.
You just have to leave again. You turn over, you start from one.
I understand where you're coming from. I totally do understand where you're coming from, but
it's so unfair
it's just
plus. You was a little blind too, man. We go pay back all the money. We understand.
They probably want you to do it when you were young. They probably want you to do it when you were younger.
But sometimes, GT, just imagine you walking while you was young, 18 years, and you're getting $150 a month. To cook over for over 300 children. Come and tell me, what you going to do when you're young?
I appreciate your call and I understand. Certainly hope that will change sometime. I hope sometime again that will change.
Change before I did.
Have a good morning. All right, appreciate your call. Caller, good morning. You're live. Welcome via WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, good morning. What's up, caller? Good morning. I guess you are not paying attention. Let's go to another caller. What's up, caller via WhatsApp? Good morning. You're welcome.
Hey, JT, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Pleasant morning to you. Not bad. We're about to get a heat wave today. So,
well, of course, I hope you wear the appropriate clothing. Nothing that will, of course, allow you to free up the heat and so forth.
Well, only white today, JT. White for today.
Well, they say sometimes white is not the appropriate clothing for heat. You know that, right? You know.
Oh, yeah, but also they say stay away from black also.
So what you propose? What are you proposing? Nothing.
Well, I'll go between white and something else.
All right, man.
Always a pleasure to hear you, my friend.
All right, man.
JT, let me ask you a question. What do you think about about celebrating emancipation and the fun. Because you always challenge me, so today I want to challenge you.
I relatively have no problem in terms of the emancipation they've been celebrated on the day that it's supposed to be, which is the 1st of August. I'm all for it. Of course, if it's the day that we got the emancipation, I mean, we do it on that particular day. That's all. I am relatively okay with us celebrating it on V-Day, the 1st of August.
Okay, right. And GT, right now you see the summit with the African leaders, Caribbean leaders, and then what's your opinion on that? What you think?
You're really trying to challenge me today. Huh?
You always challenge me, so today's my day.
Oh,
GT, having a heat wave, so
yeah. I will be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I have not put a lot of energy into the summit. I know what's taking place. I know what's happening. I am for it in some way or the other in terms of if the benefit that could be derived for not only Grenada but for the Caribbean in general. I understand, but I haven't put a lot of energy into what's happening there as it started. You know, I haven't put a lot of energy into it, but I certainly do understand what is taking place. That's all I could share with you for the moment.
Okay, my last thing to you. What do you think about the?
It's supposed to be the other way. It's supposed to be the other way around. You were supposed to be making your contribution.
That's my contribution.
Anyway, man, it's all good.
Actually, so I think about the 250.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that question.
What do you think about the 250? The $250 million that the bank willing to invest in Hotel Polaris. In Hospital Polaris, Holiday Hospital.
I want to refrain from speaking much in relation to that because I don't have all the details. Okay. I understand what they're getting the money for and so forth, but I don't have all the details in relation to it, so I'm not going to share much of my opinion on that for now. All right?
GT, anyway, nice interviewing you.
Yeah, man.
And you have a great day, my friend.
Have a good one, bro. Take it easy, man. Blessings as always. And manage that heat, man. Manage the heat, all right? Okay, we have another caller. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, GT, as a Calypso fan, I was in Progress Park on Sunday. Listen to Calypso on Sunday. I've never missed a semi-final for the last 30 years now.
All right.
Because I'm born and grew in Calypso. And when I taught some of the Calypso, and I certain Calypso, I was looking for to be in the final, and the name didn't call, and I was very disappointed. Because there are certain Calypsonians, after a period of time, when they have a name, you already leave them out in the big yard. Because I'll tell you something, certain Calypsonians will generate fans into the stadium. You do leave them out. Even though they might have a small, error or something in one of their songs or whatever. And I was there and I watched even the incident with Soa Sopan, and from my experience, I didn't see it as a busted. He was busted. He never busted. I think probably some switch or something. He hold the mic, maybe he switch up the mic by accident or something of the sort. But honestly speaking, I thought yet for all he still continues singing. And I thought the judges could have think more wise. And a lot of people, South Africa have a lot of fans, from the St. David and even around Grenada who normally go. I want to hear South Africa tonight, or whatever. They pay.
Yeah, but caller, the fans are not the judges, right?
I know. But I'm saying that that way you have these judges, and they are very inexperienced. You could see it. They are very inexperienced. When I have a manager, I have a big name, I have a manager superstar in sports. England went drop Drew Root, even though Drew Root make 5 ducks. You understand? They can do definitely that one of those innings even to come good.
But even though in sports, caller, I mean, someone moving to another level is based always on their performance, right? Not so? Would you agree or disagree with me?
I quite agree. But
just hold one sec. So a Calypsonian and so performing on the night, him moving to the position of getting through from the semi-final to a final, it's always going to be based on his performance. And sometimes you as a fan, you may miss something that a judge may pick up. I'm just saying under my own personal views on that, right?
I know.
And you may think, yes, I like that Calypsonian song and how he sings and whatever, and that's just how because you're a fan. But there's something that a judge may pick up that you may not have picked up on the night.
I quite agree. Everybody had a different opinions.
Yes, that's just my view on
it. I know. But honestly speaking, I thought people like even Teacher Eddie, I thought he had a chance to make it to the big yard. I thought the two Calypso was very crafty. He put on an excellent show.
All right.
Two songs. These two songs was very excellent. I thought he had a chance to say. Oh, again, I saw. I was disappointed to even Papa Jerry. I thought he could have made the final just as well too. I thought he was good also. You understand? There was other couple Calypsonians I thought was.
So let me ask you one question. Are you quite familiar with the rules or the criteria for judging? Are you fully familiar with it?
I know they have I think it's so much points for melody and
you're totally familiar with the melody and the lyric or the whole format that rules in terms of someone moving to another level.
I know calypsos. I know.
I understand you know, Kola. We fighting about it. I know you know, but I'm just asking if you are familiar with how these individuals are judged. Are you quite with the criteria that is needed during the performance? You know, sometimes we miss on that and we sort of blame the judges and so forth. But they are the ones who are familiar with it.
All the renditions and clarity and the songs and everything.
All right, man.
There's certain Calypsonians that make it to the big idea, and up to now I already hear the words distinctly from the song, but they make it because the crowd make noise for them. I was impressed with the young guy who went to the black smoke and ended up with the white smoke. First time he had the stage, he impressed me. Even the next young guy who made it to the final too, I felt happy for him too. I mean, I forgot his name. I think he was excellent, but there's a couple of Calypsonians I wonder how they reach in the big yard. You understand?
All right.
Honestly, I just want to disclose the name and name, but honestly speaking.
Thank you for your contribution this morning. Appreciate it a whole lot, man. Have a blessed day. All right. We maybe have time to entertain another one or two calls if it comes really quickly. We certainly be able to entertain those calls. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, your life. Good morning. Welcome.
Morning, Gigi. Sorry to call back, but I had to listen to some of the callers. I think this condemning governments, it don't make sense. It don't really make sense because everyone that come in power come to make a contribution and they go on.
All right.
It's the same thing as saying they condemning British, they condemning Gary, they condemning Keith Mitchell, they condemning Brizan, they condemn everyone no good. So how we can, as far as I see, this government is continuing some of the work that the other government did not complete, couldn't finish because they was in power. So you may not see any big project. The thing I feel real outstanding is that nice police station they give us, and then all the other they're trying to fix other things. One of the things I feel the government and them should do, because our roads are so bad, instead of preaching, ask the British government to come concerning the same slavery thing, come to Grenada and develop roads for over 20 years, bridge and roads, and some of the little money that we collecting from whether it's selling passport and give them a contribution, because we need a company inside it continuously fixing roads, because they have all the engineers, they have all the equipment, they have all the technology, so we don't have to worry to get that, because when you take money from somebody to do something, you want to get contractors, you have to do everything. So just invite them in here, give them some of the money, let them make some contribution, and Grenadians going to be working with them, getting knowledge, equipment will be coming instead of everybody fighting to do peace, juke. This thing can't work like that. We have to come together as one and stop this quarreling and this one don't do that one do that. The works of a man never finish.
All right, caller. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate your call.
Continuation. Thank you.
You too. All the best. Hey, folks, that's what we're going to take a wrap for today's edition of To The Point. I want to thank all who contributed towards today's program. You called in, you sat at home, you listened. It's some form of a contribution by you sitting at home and listen. Thank you so much. I want to wish everyone all the best for the rest of the day. And, of course, join me again tomorrow for another edition. Thank you, folks. Once again, best wishes. That's where we say goodbye for today's edition.